Welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, this is my dad Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a conversation about something we want to talk about. So for our 245th episode, we are going to talk about the Reading Phillies game we went to. So it is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day.
Thanks.
This is episode 245, if you didn't catch that. So that's crazy, it's a lot.
Yep, 5 years.
5 years.
Yep, 5 years.
And make sure to rate and subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
And wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, and on Apple Podcasts, we would love to hear from you. Write a little comment on YouTube. We would love to hear from you. If you have podcast ideas, anything you want to talk about, if you want to go back to some other podcasts, write us a note about a book, like book reviews or clubs or anything. We would love to hear from you. So we went to the Reading Phillies game.
Okay, should we backtrack?
Yeah, we'll backtrack.
Okay, so we went back to Philadelphia for Father's Day weekend, and
it was Taylor Swift night at the Reading Phillies.
Oh yeah, but I think we need to
backtrack more
to even explain who are the Reading Phillies. So now they're called the Reading Fightin' Phils. Okay, so we can still call them the Reading Phillies. The Reading Phillies are the AA team, minor league baseball team of the Philadelphia Phillies. So in minor league baseball, if you don't know, there's an A-ball team, usually low A and high A. So 2 levels of minor league baseball there. Then AA, then AAA, and then the major leagues. And sometimes the biggest jump usually for players themselves is A-ball to AA, not AA to AAA. And so some guys just skip AAA altogether and go right from AA if they're good enough. And I hadn't been back to Reading since you've been born. And
that was your first job.
Right. So I had gone a bunch as a kid. And then it was my first job out of college was the number 2 broadcaster for the Reading Phillies on the radio on WEEU, and I would do the pregame show, then color comment, be the analyst for innings 1, 2, 3, play-by-play 4, 5, 6, analyst 7, 8, 9, postgame show, and I joined in 2004, right after graduation, 40 games into the season, and then I went back for a full season in 2005. So this is now 20 years since that full season in 2005, and it was great to go back with you on Taylor Swift night because that's where she's from, and
I'm a big Swiftie.
And she sang the national anthem there when she was 9, and then again 17, and there's no video of when she sang it when she was 9 years old. And then they had fireworks after the game, all set to Taylor Swift music.
Yeah,
they had a Taylor Swift
good.
cover band. Unfortunately, it rained, but the game got 7 innings. So that was the impetus for us going, was to share that experience at a Reading Phillies game. That was a little bit. It was even more special than just going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like going back and seeing all those people who were working there 20 years ago, even before that?
It was really for me. It was really special because those are the people that I had my first professional experience with. And so the GM is the same. A bunch of the people in the front office are still there. One of the guys who was an intern when I was there, and those were guys were pretty much my age, is now the assistant GM. I loved that going back there, and I even saw a few ushers that I recognized, but it was raining and I didn't have an umbrella. So it was really special to see people who have worked there for such a long time, because it really speaks to the type of organization that it is, that these people want to be there for that long and they're treated so well, and it really is like a family there, and that you don't see that very often in sports anymore. Some people will say, oh, it's a family business if ownership goes down from a parent to a child, something like that, or someone else works in the front office. This I truly believe is like a family. So it was wild for me to be back there with you, thinking about all the time that whole time I was thinking where I was just in my life and my thoughts in '04 and '05, and now being there with you was really great.
So you said it's a great organization,
Mhm.
and I'm guessing it was when you. And
Yeah.
I know it was when you were there,
Mhm.
and I know it still is. What are some of the changes that you've seen, or that you saw?
Yeah, I mean the ballpark itself it's called First Energy Stadium. So if you're ever near Philadelphia, it's about it's northwest of Philadelphia. I mean, if you're ever near the area, or even if you live in New York, it's only about 2 hours. It is a great ballpark, and I think they've done a great job making it really a museum on the inside, the history of it since 1950. And obviously the new project in the outfield with the clubhouses is spectacular. But it still feels the same. So
That's nice.
so you can upgrade certain things, but it still feels like the ballpark that I went to as a kid and then worked at. Maybe in the press box, maybe it's because there's still that same essentially hot plate that just is cooking hot dogs. and I told Scott, the GM, that in '05, that's when I just had to stop eating hot dogs. I felt so bad about myself physically. I was eating a hot dog or two every day and drinking a Fountain Mountain Dew just to get through 9 innings of baseball. And it was just, I seriously, I felt awful. But being back there, for all the things that had changed, there were so many things aesthetically that remained the same, and the people were still the same. And it really speaks to, it's a real testament to that organization. Did you think about anything but like Taylor Swift and baseball while you were there?
Definitely as we were walking around and you were saying hi to people, I noticed everyone, like you were saying, was very kind. Everyone said hi, introduced themselves, and it definitely speaks to how it's a nice organization. And
nice place to work.
And when you mentioned your name, or even if you didn't, people recognized you. They were like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, because I recognized so many other people, and as I said to all of them, so many people just look the same. But I never expect someone to remember me.
Yeah.
So I always just say, like, I would say, "Hey, Noah Kozlov." Like, yeah, of course. But there are a lot of people I find will just say, "Hey, like, remember me?" I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, well, that's odd and like rude. Like,
what if I don't?
I don't.
Like,
but
hey,
right, but they didn't say
no,
that. You know, but of course
you.
they didn't. None of those folks said that. But I will always reintroduce myself to people I haven't seen in 15 years, probably.
And something else that I noticed was really nice was the photographer. You didn't know who he was, but I was one. There's like a bunch of kids throw out first pitches, and I threw one out, and he took some photos. And later we saw him, and he asked if he could get like our number, so he asked if we wanted photos and to get our number so he could send them to us, which I thought was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and
just out of his way to just
exactly.
say, like, hey, you want them?
Exactly. I think what oftentimes gets lost in sports organizations, that yes, it's a lot about what happens on the field. Minor league baseball, a little bit less about the actual wins and losses, but you have to be in the hospitality industry. Like, that's the mindset you have to have to serve customers and to make them want to come back, and have all these things in between innings, and they have all those mascots, so that
they have like 5 mascots.
Right, so that there's more time spent with mascots and kids, just like Disney World. So Reading has always gotten it. They've always gotten it right from the beginning. And throughout my career, I've always said to folks, like, that was, I mean, I worked for a first-class organization right off the bat, and that doesn't happen very often. I would go back and do different things as a broadcaster, I think, but as far as working with a first-class organization, I could not have beat that. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was great. Did you? Oh, well, actually, I said I'd do things differently as a broadcaster. I think it would be more probably asking the players more questions and getting more stories from the players. Maybe just being more confident. Let me move this over for you. just being a little bit more confident, probably just to walk up and just start talking and getting stories for the air that I could talk about. Maybe, but I certainly grew as a broadcaster and as a professional there. I had Steve Degler was my broadcast partner, and he certainly taught me a lot about the basics of baseball broadcasting. He did a great job with that. Great job with that. What was your favorite part about the night?
That is a good question.
You got a new bracelet.
I did get a new bracelet.
Our Phil's bracelet on sale in the shop.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the night was seeing how it wasn't the game, but it was seeing all of those people that you knew and how you saw them and you showing me around. And it was nice seeing how everyone was so kind there and how it's a nice organization.
Okay, so that was your biggest takeaway? Yeah, that was your favorite thing? Yeah, I like that. I loved the fireworks.
Oh, well, okay. Well, fireworks too. Fireworks are great.
So the fireworks...
Okay, I was not thinking about the Taylor Swift part.
Okay.
Because that was after the game.
Right, true.
Okay, if we're counting after the game, then definitely the fireworks. Yeah.
the fireworks, Reading has always done A+ fireworks shows. And I got almost desensitized to it because I just saw fireworks every single night when I was broadcasting games.
Oh, they have that every night?
Not every night, but
or a lot, yeah.
It felt like it. And then on the road, there sometimes did fireworks shows, and I remember always thinking, well, these aren't as good as Reading's. I do remember I think it was the first night they did fireworks at the ballpark. I didn't know that there was a fireworks show, or I didn't think about it. And in the post-game show, I'm talking, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, and I, on the air, just kind of like jolted a bit. I didn't say like, what the was that?
Yeah.
I just kind of jolted. It sounded like there was these bombs going off, and I didn't. And I was like, oh right, fireworks. But they're so loud.
They're very.
It was. I loved seeing. I mean, we didn't go to a Taylor Swift concert, but that almost made me feel like it, being there with you, singing along, watching you smile and sing and be so happy and like really enjoying yourself with the fireworks.
I thought it was funny. You're like leaning in, like, what do you say?
Yeah, it was I would highly recommend not just any minor league baseball experience, but if you can get to Reading,
yeah,
I would do it. Funnel cake was awesome.
Oh yeah, I almost ate the whole thing.
I hadn't had funnel cake in forever. Fries were good.
Funnel cake and fries is a great combo, I have to say.
It is.
It's a great combo.
And water.
And water.
Yeah.
No, but not the funnel cake with the fry. Not in the same.
Wait, but didn't
funnel
you
cake and a fry?
Didn't you take the French fry and put the
dip
funnel...
French fries in powdered sugar?
Ooh.
That's what I did.
I know.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be some salt on the fries.
True.
But yes, that is a great combo that probably not that many people have thought of.
No.
Yes, you should try that.
But I'm really glad that you enjoyed the experience. It's great to have Grandma and Grandpa up there also.
And I'm glad.
It's great to get Mom there at some point too.
I'm glad you saw everybody. A lot of people.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I do wish, people always ask all the time, about like the start of your career. I do think I should have gone back for a third season in Reading. I think it just would have helped me as a broadcaster some more. But the experience at the NBA was incredible. So I don't know if the timing would have been right.
I think if you went back for a third season, then was the NBA the next
year. Yeah, I don't know if the job would have been there or what. So you can't live your career with certain regrets. But I think I would have been a better broadcaster for it if I had done a full season there in 2006 and got even more confident in that. But it was just the best way to start a broadcasting career and to understand how things are run, not just on the air but off the air. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Thoughtful questions. Thank you. And it was a great Father's Day weekend.
I'm glad.
You make things pretty easy. All right. I love you.
Love you.